is for Congressman Beyer and Delegate Simon, which is, as you alluded to, there has been a lot of pushback. In fact, Senator Mitch McConnell, who is the Senate Majority Leader, is urging states not to comply with the Clean Power Plan. And in the House of Delegates, Speaker Powell is championing legislation that will block or delay implementation in the Commonwealth. So I'd love for you all to touch on, what do you see yourselves doing in your respective houses to, champion these solutions and the Clean Power Plan, and then what can folks in the room do to ensure that we're moving in the right direction and not moving backwards.
I'll leave Speaker Howell to Marcus. Although I don't think I can handle Mitch McConnell. I do think there's precedent that they find the Kentucky clerk of court in contempt. Maybe they could do that with a majority.
Jail time. Jail.
I think there is a little bit of good news that in the Keystone Pipeline bill, which passed, was later vetoed. The Republicans did acknowledge that climate change was real. In the working plans for both of the committees I served on, they did acknowledge that climate change is real. So this was progress from last year. And we have important initiatives on the Hill that ultimately will pass. The good news about the Clean Power Plan is that, as Delegate Simon pointed out, it gives every state the flexibility to find its own way to fix it. But I think most economists from the right and left would agree that a much more efficient way is just to do a carbon tax. Let's make the price of carbon reflect what actually is impacted, the social impact of carbon on the economy. There are two basic carbon tax plans on the Hill right now. The one I like less uses the revenues from a carbon tax, which starts at basically $15 per ton of carbon and goes up at this point 5.86% per year indefinitely. Uses those revenues to fund corporate tax reform. You get the 35% tax rate down, which is a good thing overall, but there are other ways to do it. The far better plan, by the way, that doesn't eliminate the regressivity of the carbon tax. The auto mechanics who work in our shops are driving in from Haymarket, from Fredericksburg every morning. They're going to get, and they spend a greater percentage of their income on heating their home or air conditioning than we probably do in Arlington and Alexandria and Falls Church. The better plan is Chris Van Hollen's carbon cap and economic dividend plan, which I'm a principal co-sponsor on, and I hope if he goes to the Senate, I get to inherit it, to champion it. And what that does is it takes all the money raised by a carbon tax and gives it back equally to every American. So the person making $15,000 gets just as big a check as the person making $500,000. And the good news is this makes it progressive rather than regressive, because virtually the bottom two-thirds would get more money back from the carbon tax than they put into it. People with the biggest houses, with the biggest cars, with the boat and plane are going to put in a lot more money than they get back. By the way, a third of them will be paid by businesses, which will get any of it back. So once again, this becomes, if you have to work with Republicans who love to make taxes lower, this is a good thing to do. So we'll be continuing to fight for that, because if you put the price of carbon in, most of what we will achieve through the Keep It Clean Carbon Plan will happen through independent economic activity.
So, again, in the House of Delegates, if you want to tackle this, I just came actually from a meeting of my fellow delegate, Alfonso Lopez from Arlington. He chairs something called the Virginia Environmental Beer Conference. It's Environmental Resources and Renewable Energy, thank you. Anyway, it's a group of us, it's a bipartisan group actually, includes Republicans, and we were getting together this morning to sort of talk strategy for the upcoming session. And one of the things that we talked about, and I think there's a consensus about, is if you go down to Richmond with a go big or go home strategy, you end up going home empty-handed more often than not. And that there are opportunities, but it's sort of important to be incremental in Virginia. And you've got to find ways to do it. Take small bites and small pieces and get some of what you want, and maybe not get everything you want all at one time. And there's not, it's a difficult, it's not a strategy that's necessarily been embraced by all the environmental groups and by everybody out there. A lot of us really believe that it's the right thing to do, and because it's the right thing to do, we ought to get it done as quickly as we can. But I think that if we're going to be effective, and we need to be a little more strategic than that, and take our wins where we can find them. Things like increasing net metering. We've had made some progress on net metering. So you can put solar facilities on your house and run your meter backwards, right? And generating, in very simple terms, I'm generating electricity and put it back on the grid. Our ability to do that in Virginia has been very limited. It's been confined. It's limited to the amount of that can happen. Statewide, it's limited to how much each individual person can do. So you go in there and start to expand those limits. Let's allow a little more of that. Hey, it seems to be working. Let's start to expand that. Last year, 2015, we were successful in doing that on commercial net metering, so allowing businesses to do it because we were able to forge an alliance with the business community and make a business case that these folks ought to be able to do that at $1 million and cents issue to them. Can we come back and revisit that issue with residential in 2016? We will. We'll try.
Can you clarify what you're talking about?
So net metering is the ability to put, say, solar panels on the roof of your house. That's great. You can use that in some ways to offset your electricity, to lower your electricity bill. But you can actually have enough solar there that when you're generating a lot of really sunny day, you generate more electricity than your house uses. And if you have the right kind of equipment on the house, you can actually pump electricity into the grid, and then the power company has to give you credit for the electricity that you put back in. But again, you can do that in Virginia, but it's limited. There's 1% of all that's been used statewide. There's caps on how much that can happen and how much each person can do. So we can start to expand those things. We can expand it to commercial uses. We had institutional uses a couple of years ago. Make the business case for a lot of these issues as well. And we believe it's the right thing to do. We believe in Tikkun Olam and all those things, but some of our opponents, it's not a high priority for them. So we just need to recognize that. So let them know that this is financially it's important. It's important to the insurance industry, right? Because they don't want to keep paying out claims as a result of persistent, recurrent coastal flooding. Make the jobs case, right? These are the jobs. Look, coal is that industry, not because of anything that President Obama's done, but because of the energy market, right? I mean, cheap natural gas and fracking is what's killed the coal industry. That's what it is. It's not coming back. And so convince those folks that there's economic development opportunities in wind, in solar farms, in renewable energy. Let's make the case for improving people's lives and their bottom lines financially by increasing the efficiency of their homes and the cars that they drive and the other things that they do. So capture the terms that some more conservative folks can appreciate, and make that case for it, not just that you do it because it's the right thing to do. You guys are a bunch of idiots if you don't recognize it. Calling them names and things like that just doesn't, it's not the most effective way to make that work.
We've tried to